What's up, everybody? Jake from StratGeeks coming at you again. This time, we're going to be talking about a combination strategy using ORS Fusion and our brand new strategy Pulse simultaneously throughout the days, weeks, and months moving forward. So we're going to be working with 180 calendar day data set, which is our default, if you will. We always do 180 days, minimum 90, but we like to go 180, 6 months of data. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to go over what the ORS Fusion results are for that 180 days, what the Pulse results are for that 180 days, and then what I have been working on with ChatGPT, with AI, for the past, probably getting close to 2 weeks now, is a combination of Fusion and Pulse. It would be ORS Pulse Fusion, actually, that we call the 400 bin strategy, where depending on the size of the opening range, that would dictate what strategy we use on that particular day. So say between 100 and 200 ticks, we use Pulse. Between 201 and 300 ticks, we use Fusion, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So over the last 180 days, we have... especially the last 60 to 90 days since the new president's taken office and all this tariff talks and everything, the markets, as you know, and I know, and we all know, have been insane lately. The opening ranges have been massive. The volatility has been off the charts on a lot of these days. Not since COVID have we seen such volatility. You can look back at the VIX indicator and just Google it, and it's pretty easy to see. So with that, dare I say fact, in mind, we went back and we have made 3 master templates just for Fusion. So depending on the size of the opening range, we have a small opening range template, a medium opening range template, and a large opening range template. So once we got those 3 templates done, we were able to half our drawdown and increase our profits by almost 2-fold. So Fusion right now is working better than ever, even though the markets are insane right now. But we still wanted to work on something that could maybe even capitalize on this higher volatility even more. And we wanted to build a strategy that was based on momentum and more of a classic style strategy that had really, nothing to do with pullbacks to the opening range levels or the standard deviations, as we call them. Just more of a classic type strategy, but we wanted to not use market orders to get in and get out. So we have succeeded with that. We only use limit orders to get in. We only use limit orders, market or sell stops and buy stops to get out, even for the runner position on Pulse. So go back and look at the last video I made, and I'll put a link to it at the end. That kind of details how Pulse works. But for this video, I really want to compare ORS and Pulse, and then the third strategy, which is a combination of ORS and Pulse. So let's get going. So here is a combined equity curve for if you were literally trading Pulse and ORS at the same time on, say, a cash account or 2 separate cash accounts. So you can see this is all with 2 micros. So scale, you can't really scale this down much more for Pulse because Pulse runs on a 1-1. 1 micro for its first target and 1 micro for the runner position. But you could, if you wanted to, you could scale down ORS from 2 micros to 1 micro and even have less risk. But what you definitely can do for both of these strategies is you can scale up. So this is, I guess you could almost say this is the lowest level of scaling right now. But technically you could scale down ORS a little bit if you wanted. But the combined equity here, if you were to trade both strategies at the same time with no limit on your profits per day, you would have ended up over the last 180 days with about $35,000. And that's, with like if you wanted to push it, you could do it with a $10,000 cash account, I bet. Maybe if you wanted to be a lot safer, you had a $20,000 cash account, or you could even use 2 $10,000 cash accounts, one with ORS and the other one with Pulse. Completely hands-free, no touching. So what we offer here at StratGeeks isn't just an indicator or an edge. It's an indicator and an edge and a strategy, completely all automated. So it's the whole package, plus risk management, the whole thing. Like we're building this company in such a way where, like, I wish I had a company like this to subscribe to and be a part of. And we basically built this because we wanted this, and now we offer this, if you will. So for a lot of people, this isn't going to be as realistic to literally combine both of them at the same time and then have no cap on the daily profits, because a lot of the PA accounts that we're trading, a lot of us are using 50K PA accounts, and with those particular accounts, there's a 30% consistency rule for most firms. So with that 30%, we're looking at like having to cap those profits at about $900 per day to stay on the safe side to make sure we don't get a payout denied. Now, even with ORS by itself, I have requested many payouts and have never been denied. But I've never let the profits go past 900 per day. But with Pulse and ORS, with these larger opening range days that we've been experiencing over the last 60, 70, 80 days, it's possible to have, more than $1,000 profit in any particular day. So we want to try to limit that so we can so we don't get our payouts denied. Now we're talking about uncapped profits. So any amount of, I think the largest win day was like 1,700 uncapped. So let's look at a comparison between ORS, Pulse, and the 400 bin strategy, which is the combination of Pulse and ORS next. So here we go. Your equity curve here is uncapped. So this allows, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 profit days, even though our largest day, I think, in this whole study is $1,700 win day. But let's look at uncapped first. We have Pulse in green here. We have ORS in blue. And then we got the 400 bin, which is both strategies combined, up here in orange. What's interesting is that Pulse and ORS uncapped end up within $1,000 of each other, which is pretty crazy. I mean, look at the equity curve. Pulse goes flatter here. ORS just takes off right here. ORS does draw down a little bit more right in this flat / drawdown spot, but this is a good spot to look at with the 400 bin strategy, which is both combined. We don't quite draw down as much as ORS, and maybe not even as much as Pulse by itself. So here is the worst drawdown that ORS has experienced in the 180 days here, and then you can see the green and the orange here, and let's see, the worst spot for the bin strategies right about here. So yeah, it never draws down more than $900. I think it was $857 combined. So that's something to think about for sure. A lot of people out there selling stuff online, they don't talk about the drawdown. They only talk about the profits, and then they maximize their contracts to make it look all shiny, like $5,000 a day, but they like $63,000 in 30 days or whatever, but they never talk about the drawdowns. Some of these places don't even include the commissions. By the way, all of this is with commissions included. So let's look at something maybe a little bit more, based in reality for those of us that are trading, say, 50K prop firm accounts here on the next slide, I believe. Yeah, let's look at this one actually. So here is the same data over 180 days with wins capped at $900 a day. So you can see that we did, shaved off a few $1,000s on the profits for Pulse, because Pulse will take some major profits on some of these big days. But, you don't want to get your account disqualified from a payout. So, but if you're not using a PA, then yeah, go ahead, take full profits on them, whatever day it might be. And then ORS, it did shave off, 3,000? So it shaved off about 3,000, 3,500 to cap your wins on ORS and Pulse. But here's the cool thing. Even though that the profits are capped at 900 for the bin strategy, look how high we still stay. We still stay at 19 grand. We're pulling back a little bit here. And then look at the drawdown. The drawdown, even capped, is still the same. It's still like less than 900, I believe. Let's see the next slide. So what we're looking at here is the 400 tick bin strategy summary. All the profits, to keep it realistic, capped at $900 a day for that 50K account. So what we have here is a choice of either using ORS or Pulse on each one of these bins. So if the opening range happens to be 323 ticks, then we're going to use Pulse or ORS here. And then if it happens to be 400, between 400 and 800, and it happens to be 522 ticks, then we're going to use ORS or Pulse here. And then obviously I'm not going to share what strategy to use on this public YouTube video, but obviously when you sign up with us, that will be disclosed. So yeah, I mean, we can see in these ranges, in these bins, what the profit factor is per bin. And we got plenty of data here, 64 days on the 0 to 400, 400 to 851 days. Not as much data up here because these are the outlier days, but we're still doing well. But really, you know, what strategy is the best, operates the best in the 400 to 800 range? And I tested all sorts of bins with ChatGPT. I've been working on this for 2 weeks, hours and hours and hours with ChatGPT, double checking its math, having arguments with it, you know, and all that stuff. And so, yeah, I tested 50 tick bins, 100 tick bins, 200 tick bins, 500 tick bins, every bin. And for some reason, the 400 bin is the way to go. Now, for those of you who are current subscribers and know how ORS operates, you'll notice that between this 400 and 800 tick bin, there's actually 2 different ORS templates that operate within this range. So, you know, if it's 408 ticks, then, you know, maybe use the medium. If it's 600, 800 ticks, or 600 to 750 ticks or something, then use the large template. But that will all be explained in the actual lesson that I'll give you when you sign up with us. But yeah, the cool thing right now is Pulse just came out. So we're offering Pulse and ORS at the same price as if it was one strategy. But, you know, as soon as well, I'm not going to say exactly what's happening, but as soon as a couple things happen, we are going to offer Pulse by itself. But right now is the time to sign up. We're offering both strategies at the same exact price, at the same exact time, and I'm offering to teach this 400 tick bin summary strategy. And what's going on the next slide here? All right, let's talk about what a lot of other companies out there selling indicators and strategies and everything don't talk about, which are these flat periods and these drawdowns. So I like to try to get people to commit to themselves. Please just, you know, try to commit to 2 months, because what can happen is you sign up and then you're only in with us for 3.5, 4 weeks or so, and like, what if you signed up right here? 3 weeks later, all you see is negative results, and you're like, you're cursing my name. I mean, right here, like, we had a nice, well, I guess it's not quite flat, but here, I mean, if you would have signed up with us here, this would have been, you know, you would have been doubting what all of our data, you know, and then you quit here, and then and everything goes up. So let's, I had ChatGPT actually plot the duration of days on how long the top 5 drawdown periods were in this 180-day period. So we got a 5-day period here, 19, 12, but look at this, 27 calendar days for almost a whole month, from November 22nd when the drawdown started to December 18th when we got back, when the equity would have gotten back up to where it was on the 22nd before the drawdown started. We went down, for 27 days, we were looking at up and down and $752 at the worst part of it. But you got to stick with the program. If you don't, then you miss out on this. You know, I wish I could say that there were no flat periods, but that's not reality. I mean, look at Pulse's flat periods, 15, 9, 5, 23, 16. Look at ORS's flat period, 20 periods, 25, 9, 9, 3, 13. You know, so you got to be able to stick with the strategy for more than a month to really make sure that you can start capitalizing on it, because you just don't know when you're gonna sign up, you know. But yeah, there you have it, folks. Let me grab our website page so you can see how to sign up with us. All right, so here we go. All you got to do is go to StratGeeks.com StratGeeks.ai. Right here at the top, click the Discord link. That will get you invited to our Discord server. Send me a message. I'm Jake at ORS. I will send you a discount code for 50% off the first month. And for the time being, not sure when we're going to stop doing it, but for the time being, 50% off for the first month. Plus, you get ORS and Pulse at the same time. Plus, I'll teach you how to use the 400 tick bin strategy. Yeah, with that's like an $19,000 profit over 6 months with $857 drawdown, and with just 2 micros on the NASDAQ 1 minute and the NASDAQ 5 minute. And yeah, I mean, our back testing's pretty darn accurate since we only use limit orders. We don't use market orders, so we've had a lot of good results with accuracy over the last year or so that we've been running ORS. So yeah, shoot me, and you can also shoot Eamon an email, eamon@StratGeeks.ai, or you can shoot me an email at onetraderjake@gmail.com. But the best way to get a hold of me is just to go ahead and join our Discord channel, and you'll get announcements there as we adjust things or release things or whatever it might be. But just shoot me a DM. I'm on a one-to-one basis with everybody who signs up. We have an hour meeting to teach ORS and also Pulse. So we invest at least an hour meeting in every single person that signs up, and then usually more than that, because sometimes people want a second meeting, or they'll DM me with questions. I'm available most of the time, unless I'm sleeping. I am in Bali, so my time is inverted from Eastern Standard Time. If it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon there, it's 2 a.m. for me. So Jake from StratGeeks signing out. Hope to see you guys soon.